Welcome to episode 37 of God's Truth. This is the third Sunday of Advent, and our focus today is on joy to the world. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Philippians 4:4. Joy is one of the most prominent themes of the Bible. From the very beginning, God's plan for mankind has been to bring us joy and peace. Throughout the Bible, we see stories of joy in response to God's blessings and celebration of His promises. In the Old Testament, the Israelites rejoiced and sang songs of joy when they escaped from the Egyptians and made their way to the Promised Land. In the New Testament, Jesus brings joy to those who follow Him and encourages others to do the same. The Apostle Paul also speaks of joy in his letters, urging believers to be joyful even in difficult circumstances. The Bible teaches us that joy is a gift from God and that it is something to be celebrated and shared with others. Bible verses about joy can help Christians who may be going through a difficult season as a reminder of calm happiness through faith in God. Joy is rooted in who God is. It is not fleeting or based on circumstances or worldly possessions or accomplishments. Even the people in our lives are blessings that can make us happy and fuel our joyfulness. However, the Bible teaches that the source of all joy is Jesus. God's plan from the beginning, the Word made flesh to dwell among us, is rock solid, allowing us to navigate difficult situations without happiness while sustaining our joy. God's truth says in Romans 15, verse 13, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." Romans 12, verse 12 says, "Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer." Philippians 4, verse 4, which I read earlier, says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice." James 1, verse 2 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds." Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness." In the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 24, it says, "Until now you have asked nothing in my name." This is Jesus speaking. "Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be full." In the Old Testament, Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22 reads, "A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." Embracing the joy to the world that Christmas brings. This Christmas, discover the heartwarming joy and hope that Christmas brings, especially for those feeling despair. Join us in finding light this holiday season. Christmas is a time of joy, a season that brings warmth and hope to millions around the world. However, for those grappling with despair and a loss of hope, the holiday cheer can sometimes feel distant. Yet Christmas holds a unique power, the ability to rekindle joy and restore light in the darkest of times. By understanding the true essence of the holiday, we can embrace the joy that Christmas brings and find peace and happiness during this special season. For many, Christmas is a magical time filled with lights, laughter, and love. But when life's challenges overshadow this cheer, it's vital to reconnect with the deeper meaning of the holiday. The joy of Christmas isn't just in the external celebration, it's found in the kindness, the generosity, and hope that the season inspires. Like the spirit of giving. One of the central themes at Christmas is giving, whether it's sharing gifts with loved ones or donating to those in need. The act of giving brings immense joy and fulfillment. There's acts of kindness. Simple gestures like sending a thoughtful card or volunteering at a local charity can bring smiles to others and in turn warm your own heart. Then there's generosity in action. Giving need not be material. Sharing time and presence with someone who feels alone can be the greatest gift of all. And let's not forget embracing traditions. Christmas traditions, both old and new, offer comfort and a sense of continuity. I personally love Christmas traditions. And to me, the joy of Christmas is doing the things with your family that you've done over the years, like reading the Nativity story, for example. I hope that you have traditions that you use. If not, start one. They can remind us of our connections to family and friends and provide a structure in times of uncertainty. And so creating new traditions, starting a new tradition such as baking cookies or making holiday crafts, whatever, can instill a sense of accomplishment and give you joy. So we can also connect with stories, whether it's reading those classic Christmas tales or watching holiday movies. Stories can transport us to a place of comfort and joy. And we can find hope in the Christmas message. The Christmas season is rich with messages of hope and love, often conveyed through stories, songs, and scriptures. These messages remind us that challenges can be overcome and better days are ahead. And then there's those inspirational Christmas stories. The ones that are stories of miracles and hope that abound during the Christmas season. They remind us that even in times of darkness, there is a light to guide us. And there's miraculous tales, stories of unexpected kindness and enterprise by individuals that can reignite our faith in humanity. That's nice, isn't it? There's the community bonds, which are tales of neighborhoods coming together to support one another that highlight the power of unity. We need more unity in our world today. Take time to reflect on the past year and practice gratitude that can transform our perspective. Acknowledging the positives, no matter how small, that can lift spirits and foster hope. And then there's the gratitude journaling. Writing down things that you're thankful for each day can shift your focus from despair to appreciation. Make a list of your blessings and focus on that list instead of focusing on your troubles. That's good advice. We can engage in mindful breathing or meditation that can help center our emotions and instill peace. If you're feeling a little bit of anxious or despair or just worried about, this Christmas season, take time to just breathe and listen for that small, still voice. Take a walk while taking in God's creation. Listen to soothing music or phone a friend and reconnect with someone you haven't been in contact with lately. Christmas is a season filled with joy, hope, and the promise of new beginnings. For those who find themselves in despair, the message of Christmas offers a beacon of light. By embracing the spirit of giving, Partaking in cherished traditions and drawing inspiration from hopeful stories, we can rekindle our joy and renew our hope. Remember, the true magic of Christmas lies in the love and compassion we share with one another. Ask God to fill your heart with the peace of Christ that brings joy to the world. As you navigate this holiday season, remember that you're never alone. Reach out to someone you trust, share your hopes and dreams, and let the spirit of Christmas fill your heart with joy and peace. You have the power to transform despair into joy. Embrace it this Christmas. While we celebrate the birth and second coming of Christ, the world reels from the threat of war. So we must also realize that we need to be understanding the possibility of World War III, just as the Bible predicts will come one day. In times of uncertainty and global tension, the question of what is the chance of World War III is frequently arise, casting a shadow over our collective hopes for peace. While it's natural to feel anxiety about such possibilities, understanding the dynamics at play can help ease our concerns. This post aims to shed light on the factors influencing potential conflict while maintaining a friendly and reassuring perspective. History has shown us that global conflicts often arise from complex interactions among nations. From World War I to the Cold War, each episode was triggered by a unique set of circumstances, including political alliances, economic pressures, and cultural tensions. However, it's important to remember that history also demonstrates our capacity for resolution and for peace. The creation of international bodies like the United Nations and various peace treaties are reminders of our shared commitment to prevent future wars. There's political factors. Today's political climate is marked by growing alliances and disagreements that sometimes mimic past tensions. We look a lot of times to what took place leading up to World War II and say, is this happening again? And if it is, that's prevent it from progressing. Modern diplomacy avenues for dialogue weren't even available in past eras like it is today with the internet and the digital ability to have Zoom meetings and this kind of thing. So while these conflicts do exist, the mechanisms in place for conflict resolution have also significantly evolved. Peace can come, but will it come? We're economically interconnected, and so there's so much interdependence nowadays. We depend on China for so many things and India. Yet, at the same time, there's a conflict building between the United States and China. So our interconnected world today, economies are so deeply intertwined that this global interdependence acts as a deterrent against large-scale wars. Maybe that's why we haven't gone to war yet with China. And as nations have more to gain from trade and cooperation than from conflict, let's hope that peace will prevail. The Bible, unfortunately, tells us otherwise. So we see where economic sanctions and diplomatic negotiations are often used as first measures against aggressions, paving the path for peaceful resolutions when possible. We've seen that with the Ukraine-Russian war, where the Western countries have put in economic sanctions on Russia, and the Russian leader, Putin, has just said that those sanctions are not working, but perhaps they are. Then we have these technological advances where the progress has brought about changes in warfare, but it's also enhanced our communication and understanding of different cultures. The internet and social media connect us in ways that can de-escalate tensions through dialogue and empathy when allowed. Technology also allows for intelligence sharing and transparency, which are crucial for maintaining global peace. Communication. Talk about things. The war from between Ukraine and Russia was very evident months, maybe even a year or two before the actual military conflict began. But yet there was no successful peace talks. There was no intervention. There was no dialogue shared between opposing parties. Instead, it was allowed to get out of hand. And then you got the very questionable role of international organizations. These organizations like the United Nations, NATO, and the World Trade Organization try to manage international relations. But these bodies are unfortunately very secular in nation, and they do not follow God's law. And because of that, um, you know, war is coming to the world, mainly because of greed and corruption and the lack of just following God's laws. And they don't look at the love of Christ and the peace of Christ and the joy of Christ. They just ignore all that because they're too focused on the worldly viewpoint when they should have a biblical viewpoint. So while it's easy to feel powerless in the face of global issues, individual actions can have a profound impact. You can be aware, you can advocate, you can educate at the grassroots levels to contribute to a process of peace. Um, so, before we go to war, we should try to work out a peaceful solution. That's what it comes down to. And so at least we can hope that the new Trump administration can bring some temporary peace to the world, allowing us time to prepare. Unbelievers and some believers are putting their hope in President Trump being able to build a foundation for lasting peace, demonstrating the power of individuals working towards a common goal. But we know different. True peace can only come from Jesus Christ. And in that we have true joy, peace, and hope. So contemplating the chance of World War III can be daunting, but understanding the factors at play offers reassurance. History, present-day diplomacy, and the interconnectedness of our world suggest that while conflicts exist, so do profound opportunities for peace. By engaging with global issues and supporting peace-building initiatives, you contribute to a future where this fear can become a relic of the past. Let's hope so. So feeling hopeless in the face of world events is natural, but remember that your voice and actions do matter. Connect with local peace organizations. Educate yourself and others. Engage in dialogues. Join the Republic, the American Republic that's based on our Constitution and a justice and liberty for all prevail. Let it prevail and shape the world. And so while we all do hope for world peace, we can rejoice in knowing that when war does come, we can sing joy to the world from Christ who comes to defeat evil. Merry Christmas. Now, this will be my last podcast for a while as I'm taking a break to kind of reprogram and update our studio with some new avenues of communication by offering video, doing some interviews, talking with people, and having a little bit of focus different than what we've had in the past. Still looking to God's truth in our current events and our world, specifically focusing on the United States of America and Israel. So look for the next episode to come early in the next year in 2025. Until then, Merry Christmas and keep your eyes on Jesus, and everything else will come into focus. Thank you and praise the Lord.